Hi, good afternoon. My name is Jae Mukayama. I'm an Eastern Illinois University dietetic intern, and I'm here to teach you how to cook chicken marsala. And we're going to be making this specifically for those of you out there with hypertension. And hypertension is defined as a systolic blood pressure of 140 or greater, or diastolic blood pressure of 90 or greater. So you want to have those numbers probably on the lower end rather than on the higher end. What we're going to be doing here is a very simple recipe. It only takes a few ingredients, and it's going to be very quick and fairly tasty, especially since the Italian place closed down last year. So let's go ahead and begin. Now, what I've got here is a skillet, so I'm going to put some extra virgin olive oil inside of here. And, you know, don't be stingy. It's good for you, right? So let's go ahead. You can, of course, use a saute pan as well. And I've got some of these mushrooms all set up right here. So we'll go ahead and get these going here. And I like to, since we're using chicken, I like to use a plastic cutting board. Pretty important to make sure that you're being fairly safe with all of this. Wooden cutting boards are good for vegetables and fruits, not so great with chicken. So let's go ahead and get these guys in there, stir them around. Now, mushrooms have a lot of moisture inside of them, so you want to start this a little bit earlier. Let that moisture evaporate, unless you want really soupy chicken. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, it's worth noting, one thing you're going to notice is that we're not using any salt in this recipe. Hypertension, by its very nature, is related to sodium intake and a few other things. So what we want to do is eliminate the salt altogether, keep the flavor, and I think you'll see that you can get by just fine without having salt inside there. Now the next thing we're going to do is get the chicken ready. I've got some chicken breasts right here. You can use frozen, you can use fresh if you can swing it. Fresh is fine. And what we want to do is flatten them because this is a very quick cooking recipe. So I've got these pieces right here which are pretty decent in size, but what I want to do is get some wax paper and we're going to pound it out. I'll show you how to do that in a second. You can also use plastic wrap as well. So I want one layer on the bottom and one layer on top. And this will keep all the juices and all the other stuff from flying when we pound this guy out. So let's go ahead and put this on top right here. Put it on top of this cutting board. Put this here. Now I'm using a cleaver. You can use a meat mallet, you can use an old frying pan, whatever you want. But I like to use this. And you just kind of pound it out to about, I don't know, a quarter inch or so. Okay? So we're going to leave that alone for now. Give this a quick stir, make sure these guys are going. Now that's, we've already done 2 steps of the recipe right here. The third one, let's get rid of that into the garbage, and always wash your hands, all right? Soap. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and let these cook. I've got a finished product already. What we next want to do is bread our chicken. So I've got just some basic flour right here. Okay, I rolled it out into a pan, and that's going to help the chicken. It's going to dry it out, and it's going to help it brown a little bit when you're cooking it inside of here. Okay, so let's go ahead and scoop these mushrooms out. They're almost ready, and we want to make some room for the chicken inside of here. So I just kind of move this to the side a little bit. That's good enough right there. So very simple. You bring this over to your pan or the skillet in this case. You're going to take this with one hand. You're going to lay it down just like this. Okay. On the other side, maybe back again. Give it a little bit of a shake, and that's all you need to do. Let's do the same thing with this piece. Let's trim this funky part off right here. Lay it down here. Back and back. Okay. You don't need it to be really doughy, otherwise it's going to get kind of nasty. But give it a quick shake again. Let's make some room in this skillet here, and we'll lay down one piece, and then we'll lay down the other. Just like that. And we'll go ahead and let it cook. This cooks pretty quickly. All you need to do is let it get brown. So I'm talking like maybe a couple minutes on one side, flip it over to the other side, get it brown, okay? Then what we're going to do is take the chicken out, or actually, no, I'm sorry, we'll leave the chicken inside. We're going to put the mushrooms back on, and I have, now this is called chicken Marsala, so we've got to have Marsala wine, right? So you can just get this stuff. It's in the cheap, it's pretty cheap stuff. It's right next to the port in the grocery store. So just go ahead and pick up a bottle. And I already reduced it down. You can see it right here. Okay, you just pour it in a stock pot or what have you, or a little saucier pan, and you know, reduce it by about half or so, and that helps concentrate the flavor. Okay, when you're done, you're going to just pour that Marsala on. You're going to pour the mushrooms back on. Go ahead and plate it, and this is what we've got. Something nice and simple. You still got some room left for pasta. Maybe a nice salad would go well with it. And you can see we didn't use a drop of salt, and we've still got plenty of flavor in there. I hope you enjoy. Thank you.